This is Sharpie doing a training level at Stable View, and this is his first time competing in the dressage ring on the grass. So, you know, it's always interesting for the horses to get the experience on the grass as well as the footing. And he felt pretty good. He was a little tight in the warm-up. He was just getting a little excited, but he put his workman hat on and felt really good in the ring, actually. I was pretty happy with the rideability that I had, that I was able to ride him into the corners and was able to do our half 10-meter circle back to the track. He's still a little mouthy, but again, that comes with connection and relaxation and all those things that we're working on developing. Next, we do our Lengthen Trot. That's still a work in progress, but he tries, so it's a little hurried, but the idea is that eventually the steps will get longer and more suspension. So now we go into our stretchy trot. Normally he really likes this. This is again where you can see the tension. And so I have to kind of be like, hey, come on, stretchy circle. And he finally gives it to me at the end of the trot circle. And then we have to shorten up our reins because then we have a canter transition. So you have to use your corner as your half halt. And that transition technically should have been an F, so it's maybe a stride or two early. And then we go into our lengthening canter. He's gotten much better about these with the rideability. And then you want working canter back at B. You see his haunches swung in a tad bit there. So I work on my shoulder 4, making sure I go into my corners, come across the diagonal, and we want to trot at X. Pretty accurate. So again, he's just a horse that can, even though he felt good to me, he can still look tight. But that should improve more and more. That transition was okay. He still wanted to drop. This is the right side, so he'll sometimes drop his rib cage, but overall I was pretty happy with how he was riding on the right side. He wasn't blocking me and really tensing up like he can when he gets nervous. Again, he felt really good in this test. So now we come across the diagonal again. We're going to trot at X. Pretty good. And he's starting to come up more through his neck. He's getting stronger and stronger through his body. Walk transition was pretty good. He has quite a lovely walk. It's very active. You want a horse where they swing through their back, and you want quite a bit of overstep, and then you want them reaching for the reins, and he really reached out in his neck pretty well. And then what's lovely is that I can gather him up, and we've worked on this a fair bit at home, and put him into a good working walk, and he doesn't want to jig. So then we trot at M, and I stay in the sitting trot. With it being a training level test, you can do posting or sitting whenever you want, unless it's dictated by the test. So I opted to sit so I could have a little bit more collection in my half 10-meter circle for my halt. And he did very well, scoring a 34. With it being the summertime, we actually did show jumping and cross country all in the same day as well as dressage. So here we are going into our show jump, and boy, he jumped pretty big over the first fence. Actually gave me a really good feeling because I've been working very hard on his shape in the show jump, and something that's really improved it has been I was able to change saddles thanks to custom saddlery, and it's really made a difference in how he was feeling and landing over the fences. So you see he's able to follow through. He's kicking out behind, which was a nice feeling. We come to this 2-stride, and he did a very good job of being careful through there. Next we come to the outside line, which was a vertical. Jumped that very well. Came to the oxer. And again, jumped that well. And then here's where I make a mistake, where I see the little bit of the gap and I press to it and he just flattened out a little bit and caused us to have a rail. So then I ask him to collect up to make sure I can keep the shape for this in and out, which he does. And then I'm able to keep the shape over the last vertical. And he did very well. I was really pleased, even though we had the one rail. And then straight on, right after show jump, we went directly to cross country. And he was fabulous on this cross country. I was able to gallop. He's really learning to come up and balance himself naturally without really me having to tell him to. And he was very brave. And we had just a really fun time for his second time running around the training level. And he ended up finishing 7th. And it was a great weekend.